السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. Please, brothers and sisters, remember everyone who is facing difficulty and challenges among our brothers and sisters, whether in this community or elsewhere. Please remember them in your dua. There are brothers and sisters who are ill. There are those who are under oppression. There are those who are facing difficulties in their marriage, all kinds of challenges and tests from Allah Azza wa Jal. So please remember them in your dua. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala relieve them from suffering. May Allah Azza wa Jal grant them patience and strength to deal with the challenges that they're facing. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lift the bala from them. May Allah Azza wa Jal lift the tribulation from them. Rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Inshallah, just a brief reminder to myself and you, based off of a question that I received yesterday. Someone came to me and they said that they came to Salatul Jum'ah and when they entered the masjid, the khutbah was finished and the salah was about to begin. So they asked me whether their Jum'ah will count because they missed the entire khutbah. They didn't catch even a word of it. They only caught the salah. So, of course, in this situation, most of you know the answer, that someone who comes to Salatul Jum'ah and they have missed the entire khutbah, they only catch the salah, that their Jum'ah still counts. Their Jum'ah still counts, meaning that they do not need to pray Dhuhr. They just pray 2 rak'ah behind the Imam, and that Jum'ah counts. But whether they get the reward of that or not, that's up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But it counts, meaning that they do not have to pray Salatul Dhuhr after that. There was an incident that happened at the time of Sayyidina Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu ta'ala anhu, when he was the Khalifa and he was giving the khutbah, because in those times khutbahs were given by the Khulafa. So he was the Khalifa and he was Amirul Mu'mineen, and he was giving the khutbah for Salatul Jum'ah. And a man entered the masjid while Umar was giving the khutbah. So Umar interrupted his khutbah and started to talk to that man. And he said to him, "Is this the time to come for Jum'ah?" I don't think we would be late for Salatul Jum'ah if Umar was giving the khutbah. He said, "Is this the time to come for Jum'ah?" So, in front of everybody like that. So the Sahabi was actually another Sahabi, another companion. Some of the riwayat even mention who it was, but since I'm not sure about the authenticity of that, I'm not going to mention that. But he said, that Sahabi said that, "Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, I was busy working and I heard the call to prayer, so I quickly went and performed wudu and came as quickly as possible." Because in those days there was only one adhan for Jum'ah. As many of you know, that the Prophet ﷺ had only one adhan for Salatul Jum'ah. And the second adhan was added, which is the first adhan. Right? We call it the second adhan, but it's actually the first adhan because it's the first one that is given. The first adhan was an addition that was done by Sayyidina Uthman ibn Affan, who became the Khalifa after Umar. So at this time, when Umar is Khalifa, there's still only one adhan, which is given when the Khatib comes to the minbar. So this companion is saying, "I was in the market, I was working." There's no clocks, remember? No clocks, no watches, nothing like that. I was working in the market and I heard the adhan for Jum'ah. So I went home and I got ready, and as quickly as possible I performed wudu and I came to salah. So Umar said to him that, so you did not even perform ghusl. The fact that you are late is mistake number one. Mistake number two, that you did not even perform ghusl. You're telling me you just made wudu and came. And then he said, may Allah guide you, may Allah forgive you. And he continued the khutbah. The point is that, of course we know, just so that nobody gets confused, performing ghusl for Salatul Jum'ah is highly recommended. But it's not required. It's not required. What's required is to perform wudu. But to perform ghusl for Salatul Jum'ah, according to the vast majority of the ulama, is not wajib. It is something that's highly recommended. So since the Sahabi was getting late for Salatul Jum'ah, he didn't have time to perform ghusl, but Umar used that as a opportunity to teach the people the importance of performing ghusl, so that they don't make this a habit that they just perform wudu and come to Salatul Jum'ah. The point is that Umar was visibly upset because someone came after the khutbah had already begun. Someone came after the khutbah had already begun. And so to make this a habit, that we come to Salatul Jum'ah after the khutbah has already begun, this is not how it's supposed to be. That we are supposed to be in the masjid before the khutbah of Jum'ah begins, not before the salah begins. That's number one. However, as I said before, that if someone is late and they get here before the Salatul Jum'ah, the Jum'ah still counts. The Jum'ah still counts, but the reward is not the same. Now, what if someone comes when Salatul Jum'ah has already begun, and they come in the middle of Salatul Jum'ah? What if they come in the second rak'ah while the Imam is in ruku'? While the Imam is in ruku', someone comes and joins the Jama'ah in the second rak'ah while the Imam is still in ruku'. Do they catch Jum'ah? Does their Jum'ah count? Do they catch Jum'ah? When after the Imam says Salam, what do they need to do? They need to make up how many rak'ah? One rak'ah, because they caught the ruku'. They caught the ruku' of the second rak'ah, so they need to make up one rak'ah. Right? After Salam, they get up and they make up one rak'ah. Because they missed the first rak'ah, they caught the second rak'ah. Because if you catch the Imam in ruku', you catch the rak'ah. What if they come and they join the salah after ruku' of the second rak'ah? Let's say that the Imam is in sujood of the second rak'ah. The person comes, they don't know whether the Imam is in the first rak'ah or the second rak'ah, so they join the Imam, and then they realize, oh, this is the second rak'ah. Now after the Imam says Salam, the person has to get up. How many rak'ahs do they have to perform? Right. Now this is where the scholars differ. This is where the scholars differ. According to the majority of the scholars, the person has missed Jum'ah, and therefore they need to now pray Dhuhr, which is 4 rak'ah. So after the Imam says Salam, the person needs to get up and perform 4 rak'ah. If a person joins Salatul Jum'ah after the ruku' of the second rak'ah, the person still joins the Imam, because Salatul Jama'ah is going on. They still join the Imam with the intention of Jum'ah, but after they say Salam, they get up and now they know that they need to perform Dhuhr, so they perform 4 rak'ah. This is the majority view. This is the view of the Shafi'i school and the Maliki school and the Hanbali school. However, the view of the Ahnaf, the view of the Hanafi school, is that the person still only prays 2 rak'ah. As long as you catch the Imam, before he says salam, before he ends the prayer with salam, as long as you catch the Jama'ah, Salatul Jama'ah, before the Imam says salam, in the Hanafi school, you have caught Salatul Jama'ah. So then, after the Imam says salam, you get up and you perform how many rak'ah? 2 rak'ah. But according to the majority of the scholars, if it's after the ruku of the second rak'ah, then the person has actually missed Salatul Jum'ah and they need to perform 4 rak'ah dhuhr. All of this shows us the importance of coming to Salatul Jum'ah on time. May Allah Azza wa Jal make it easy for us to do that. Ameen Ya Rabbil Alameen. Wa sallallahu wa sallam wa barik ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in.